Alright, I'm gonna explain quickly why I think doing No Nut November as a trend isn't really the best idea. Because I've said in some recent videos that I think No Nut November is stupid, so I'm just gonna explain why here. Also, by the way, if you just want to learn how to quit porn quickly, I'm gonna link some resources in the description because I know it's like really difficult to quit. So I'm gonna link some resources. Some of them I haven't read yet. So like for example, I might link the easy peasy method, which is really popular and I think it's worked for a lot of guys. So you can click on that. I'm also gonna link Hamza's no fap guide. That I and yeah, I'll link that as well. To be honest, I just thought then I know I said I'm gonna make this quick, but I've never really struggled too much with porn, if I'm being honest. Because when I was watching porn, on TikTok sometimes there'd be videos where it's like they would like you would hear about nofap and whatnot because it was on the internet at that time saying like oh porn is bad for you and stuff. So when I kind of realized oh I might be getting addicted to this thing, I immediately like went into like the nofap rabbit hole and I just learnt about nofap and quit before it became a bad addiction, if that makes sense. But I've struggled with like my worst addiction was like video games. I was just heavily addicted to that. So when I talk about porn, I try and transfer my knowledge about from quitting video games onto porn, but sometimes that doesn't work. Side tangent. Basically, the reason why I think doing No Nut November as a trend is bad is because I'll explain like this. For guys on self improvement, No Nut November is a fantastic thing. Or for guys who want to get onto NoFap in general, No Nut November is an amazing thing and 100% I approve. I approve everyone getting onto No Nut November. But the guys who just get on it because it's like it is No Nut November, I'll explain. So because it's kind of like a trend if you think of it like that. Because the guys who fap constantly but don't fap in November and then after like the end of November on like the 1st of December they carry on fapping, it's not really that helpful because I want you to imagine a fat guy who for November he eats clean, right? He eats clean for November, nothing like dirty in his diet, he just eats clean. But then on December 1st he eats like trash again. And then he eats like trash in January. He does it again in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. He eats trash in October. And then in November he eats clean again. He's not really gonna experience the benefits that he wants so badly for a long time. And that's the thing. It's like, nice, you can do it for 1 month, but then afterwards you carry on indulging in that same bad habit. Therefore, it's not actually that you want to quit doing that bad habit. It's other things like the social pressure to do it. If that this is the way I'm trying to explain it. I'm trying to be quick. I'm constantly looking at the time on my camera because last time was 11 minutes. I want to make it under that, but I'm sorry if it isn't. Hopefully, I'm making sense. It's like if you're doing No Nut November because you genuinely want to get onto NoFap and you've been thinking about this before November, and then it's like now it's just like a nice time because everyone's doing it, you're having accountability and whatnot, that's fantastic. But if you're just doing it because everyone else is and you don't want to be the odd one out, it's like nice, you're still going on NoFap, I guess, but it's like why don't you try and get on NoFap as well? Social pressure can be a good way to do that as well, actually. I'm not gonna Let me take that back because social pressure is a good way because if you're in a group of guys who don't fap, you're gonna feel more pressure to not fap, which is actually a good thing. The idea is though that you don't stop after the 30th, or is it 31st? I don't know. You don't stop after the end of November. you carry on not fapping, because that's when no fap becomes a lifestyle and you experience all the benefits, even more benefits as well. So I'll link like some stuff in the description that you can use, but it's kind of hard to explain my viewpoint, to be honest, because I'm thinking it does benefit a lot of people, but I want them to experience those benefits long term, and if you're only doing it for a trend, then you can't, if that makes sense. Because if you're only doing it like for the 30 to 31 days that No Nut November goes on for, then it's pointless. If you're like one of those guys who like on October 31st you're like, oh, I gotta like get it all out before November. Like, well, what's the point? Because it's like you still have this addiction, and on December 1st you're going to carry on fapping anyway with the type of mindset that you have now. If you have a mindset shift over November, that fair enough, that's different. It sounded very nasally. Let me see how much time. Alright, so I don't really want to make this too long, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's like, imagine you went on a clean diet, or you did this boot camp fitness program to lose weight in 30 days, but then afterwards you don't carry on going to the gym. We want to actually benefit from the compound effect. So really, instead of doing No Nut November, you can do like less fap, which is one of the strategies that Hamza's talked about previously, which is, instead of completely going cold turkey, because a lot of guys struggle with this addiction, right? And it is an addiction. If like you struggle with this, you know that cutting it out completely is probably going to be difficult. It might work. It worked for me, but that's because it wasn't really a heavy addiction for me, to be honest. And it's like cold turkey, like cutting it out completely, can work for some people. That's fantastic. Some others need to go with a reduction method, which is where you gradually over time reduce the consumption. So let's say every day for a month you've been watching porn. The next month, you making progress would be you don't watch it for 1 or 2 days. Now this might hurt your ego because it sounds like petty. It just sounds, is that it, bro? But if you struggle with this addiction, all you have to do to hit your goal is not watch porn for 2 days, and that's really easy. You might want to make it a bit more challenging if this sounds like too easy for you, but you just want to reduce it over time. So maybe you reduce 2 days for the first month. For the second month, it's 4 days. For the third month, it's 7 days. Now you've already reduced it to a week, where like literally 3 months ago you were watching it every single day, and that's fantastic progress. So just do that. Like I say, I'll link some things in the description which you can use. Again, I might read the easy peasy method myself. Obviously, I don't really struggle with porn anymore, but I think it'd be beneficial for me to read it so that I can help you more. So I'll go and read that in my own time as well. Maybe, yeah. So I don't really want to waste your time too much, but the point of No Nut November shouldn't be to just get done with the 30 days and then you can go back to fapping. The idea should be that this is the start of your no fap journey. That's the difference I want to make. That's the distinction I want to create between just doing No Nut November as a cool little challenge and doing NoFap as a lifestyle, because when you do NoFap as a lifestyle, that's when you experience the best benefits. Right, how long was that? 9 minutes? I'll take it. Alright. See you, bro. If I need to explain this more, then I might make a separate video on it if someone doesn't understand something. But hopefully I got my point. Hopefully I got my point across. Go and click in one of those NoFap resources down below. Whichever one is most interesting to you. Alright, safe.